Good evening, Arsenal fans, Gooners. Welcome to In the North Bank. I'm joined again by Richard for our Matchday preview show. And look, we're in a, a little a sticky spot at the minute. Obviously, two draws in a row, and we've got that nemesis burning at our heels, aren't they? Just waiting to kind of get their time, just to kind of get ahead of us. Man City, just a machine. Richard, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right. As I say, it's been a mad old day with work, parents' evening, noisy kids, you name it. Been mad, but yeah, obviously looking forward to tomorrow,
Yeah,
Friday night game against Southampton. And look, it's a it's a must-win game, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, I think everyone probably realise you're going to have to be pretty nigh on perfect in the last tenths. And the two games were must not lose were the Liverpool and the Man City games, and that's still the case with the Man City game. It's the one game you can't lose.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and then it's just about can our form carry us over the line, and that's where what we're about to see. Enjoy the ride. We haven't been here for such a long time. Just sit back and enjoy it. No one expects us to do it, so
no, no, but look, yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, enjoy the ride. Yeah, we haven't been here for so long, but Christ, I really don't like the ride. I find it incredibly. Yeah, it's as good as it is. You just get to a point where, like I said on Sunday, I just want to fast forward to the next game. I don't like the lull in between and just the waiting and the expectation and just the not just the worrying, but just wondering what's going to happen. And yeah, I find that just a little bit unbearable because yeah, we know we're in an unbelievable position, but we know we're still 100% not there to go toe to toe with. Look, looks likely that there's going to be the Champions League winners, and look, if they're going to win the Champions League, they're going to be worthy of that title. Um, yeah, I don't think certain winners of that competition have really been, say, like the best. They've always got a little bit of luck in that kind of knockout stage, and yeah, but I seriously think City are probably the best team out there, just from performances and everything like that. So yeah, it's well, I don't know. It's uh, let's get to it after this. Go on.
yeah.
Right, yeah, I've just taken a massive gulp of coffee. I think I'm ready now.
Yeah,
Um,
Rubicon.
so yeah, so look, we know obviously we're in a little run now of two games without a win, two draws. Obviously, last Sunday was probably w- on
No,
par with
more
one of our most
disappointing.
disappointing like performances, and yeah, we're in that blessed kind of situation where we can count those bad performances on one hand, whereas historically we've been trying to maybe go onto toes, haven't we? We've not got enough we've not got enough fingers. We're going onto toes because there've been so many poor seasons
Yeah,
in reality. But look, I think it's testament that how well we've played as a team, and then how well the squad's done. And look, this is the business period, and we knew, the players would have known, that this period is not going to be easy. And look, every team is fighting for themselves. But yeah, what final words on that West Ham game just before we go into tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah, it's just one of those you have to be disappointed and frustrated, because for 20 to 30 minutes we were so good, and complacency got the better of us, and and some of that might be down to us, fans, and the stuff that's going around on social media, or which is our and it is out there, and maybe the players have started believing it and got into that position. But 2-0 up, we're the best team out there. This is going to be easy, and switched off, uh, and it's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's, you score too early, and that creates other issues as well, doesn't it? There's always that saying: if you score too early, then yeah, that other team's obviously got that much time to kind of get back in it. I'd much rather a last minute winner. So yeah, I mean, I'd rather be stressing at 0-0 than being say like 2-0 and then suddenly them coming back and or whatever. It was a again just frustrating. I think more than anything, going 2-0 up, being very comfortable, and then yeah, look, we kind of stopped playing, or West Ham really got about us. I think there's probably a mixture. I think they had a bit of a shoe in at half time, certainly from Moyes, certainly after that last game against Newcastle. So it weren't. It was never going to be a given, even at 2-0. How well we'd have played. I still think even if we probably had our A game on, I don't think we would have kept that kind of control in the game. There would have, at some point they would have probably
Yeah,
got.
but the only thing for me is I think they might have got a result out of that game had we kept it up. It would have still been a bit tougher than we would have liked, but we would have won it, and
Yeah.
not drop the points, and that's a frustrating thing.
No, of course. It's about controlling the game, isn't it? And
Yeah,
this is where this game management comes in. And look, they're a young group, and these are the things that they're going to learn from. And what do you then take? What do you then improve on for next season? And you look at it like that. And how can we get our philosophy, how our way of playing through seven game? Take if can we get ourselves all the way through half time and going in, and you can play about. I was mid kind of number. I was like 70 minutes. If you're, I imagine that's a decent number in a game where you're controlling the game for 70 odd minutes, and you're setting the tone. And it's yeah, there are going to be periods where you're going to have a little lull, and you're going to have a little rest, and a kind of a calm down, and then go again. It shouldn't be 25, 30 minutes and then suddenly just stop. But yeah, it's just disappointing from that side of things. And yeah, to see the Liverpool game, like I said, that was in a different thing as well. But
yeah, it's a slightly different context, isn't
yeah,
it?
but again, similar things. We contrive to create our own downfall in the end of the day. A mistake or a bad call in a transition going the other way, and we don't deal with it. So yeah, it is what it is. But look, we go on to tomorrow. Bottom of the table, Southampton, and look, these games aren't going to be easy, no matter where they are in the table. It's a game that we must be winning because, look, This is as I say on the little scroll down the bottom. It's a must. It's almost our last chance saloon, isn't it? In this
Yeah,
way.
I mean, it puts a little bit of pressure back on City
Yeah,
because going into the City game, 7 points clear of them, and they know a draw at home gives us the a clear advantage because they can't they then are relying on us to drop points in other games,
yeah.
and so win this one, go to City, don't lose, uh, and
Easy
you
said,
can smell the finishing line. You
yeah.
can smell the paint on it.
I'm not quite there. I'm not quite there yet. I still find it a long way. But
Well, yeah,
yeah,
I think the two when we spoke before, I said out of the last 10 games, the Southampton and the Brighton ones were the ones that concerned me out of any of the other matches we were due to play.
yeah. Well, you know that you're going to get a game, and in all honesty, if it's a tight game, you don't want a team like Southampton with, say, someone who's really good at the set pieces. So you got like Ward Prowse. Obviously, any tackles around that area, it will be crazy. Yeah, I mean, you almost look at it like that, wouldn't you, and just think, if they've only got like a couple of chances in that game, and they get a free kick, one of those is going in, it's always like that, and you just kind of think, oh, yeah, just hope we're a little bit drilled in and not giving away those silly fouls around those dangerous areas. But yeah, so bottom of the league, they've no wins in six, and they've like scored 24 goals all season, and yeah, we've got to win this, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, they've scored 24 goals all season. They've only scored 9 goals away all season, and that's a big issue for them, which is I think it's 0.6 works out 0.6 goals a game that they score, and that's going to be tough. We go two or three up, and then it's very difficult to see them coming back into the game at any point.
Yeah, no, of course. Just going to quickly pop in. Oyemi is posted on Facebook. Yeah, we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube, along with Twitter and Twitch, I think, as well. Yeah,
Cool.
thank you for joining in, Oyemi. Yeah, keep up the good work. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you.
appreciated. Yeah, we've just got to get the job done, haven't we, Richard? In the end of the day, that
Yeah, it's down to the players to step up and uh, pull their shirt sleeves up and their socks up and and work for the 90 minutes and not turn off.
Yeah, I think they'd be smarting, wouldn't they? Just from
Yeah, I'd hope so. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. If they're not smarting, I'm hoping that their ears are still ringing from Arteta's.
this is another thing, isn't it? It's like when it's only
Yeah,
saying no, it's got to come down to the manager, and it's like, well, look, the manager's not telling them to stop playing football, and it's an interesting one, that isn't it? It's just
yeah.
from playing so well and being so fluid to shut off and kind of, is it the mentality of not doing it before, of never been in this position or never done it before, or is it something else? Would you reckon? Because it's got to be the players,
It's a
right?
it's it's a mixture of both. I mean, it's a it was you went 2-0 up, you got a little complacence, they got one back, and then that memory of what happens at Liverpool kicked in, and they froze a little bit. West Ham, it was complacency, and again, it once they got that, and I still think they thought they could hold out, and they wouldn't concede another, because you don't play in both those games in those 30 minutes like we played in 30 minutes if there's a nerves or a mentality or we bottled it. You don't play. You wouldn't have played at all well, and you would have lost those games.
Look, if we had the defence of '89 and stuff like that, then I'd happily say that we'd defend those both of those games.
Yeah,
So you'll be looking at it just thinking, oh yeah, if only with that kind of attacking flair like we did now, and the way of playing moving forward. Obviously, different era. We were still obviously decent then, but it'd be nice to have had that kind of like fast start. Then knowing we've got the reassurance of the famous back four, and yeah, shut up shop, and then you'd be. I wouldn't be stressing.
I think we're struggling a little bit with holding in the defence. It's not. I'm not having a go at him, but with his lack of obvious pace, we sit a little bit back further, and White doesn't overlap and do those overlap and support Saka as much while Holding's there, because he has to be more defensive minded. Whereas if it's Saliba in there, he's got the pace and ability to just deal with anything down that side. So it's there's that to it as well. You sort of got to. We've had to change the way we play and build up a little bit, and it's those sort of things. But you can't be playing about with a ball and just taking it easy. I mean, you look at Real Madrid against Chelsea, 2-0 up first leg, comes to Chelsea, and they were still attacking. They were passing the ball about, but they were passing it about with intent. Against West Ham, we didn't do that, did we? And that's the thing. If we go up early against Southampton, we've got to go and rip their throats out. Remember when we had Henry and Bergkamp, we used to go to teams like Middlesbrough and destroy them 7-0 once we got those first, and they could scent it, and they didn't let up, and they didn't allow a team to get back in the game, but they were ruthless, and that's what we've got to be. I mean, I think what we've said, I know I've said it, the Man United game, the Bournemouth game, even sort of Forest and things when you score Forest 5, but that could have been a 9-0. And you look, and we've had it all season where we've had teams, and then we miss chances, and then just coast to the end of the game. And even though it's not, it might be nice, and you still won. A City doesn't do that. If City sense they can get a 9-0 out of a team like Southampton, it will be 9-0.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at it obviously from their game against Leicester, didn't they? And we see them taking them apart inside about 22 minutes,
Yeah.
which is similar to what we did against West Ham. Fortunately, we didn't get the third goal, and then the rest is history. We know how it ended, but there was no real kind of drop off in how we were, or sorry, how City were. They'd maybe slowed down a little bit the pace, but the control and the nous to get the result carried it on and through, and yeah, it was an easy victory apart from the last like 10 minutes or so. And this is what I say about that 70-80 minutes of playing and forcing your style of play on opponents. that's what we've got to achieve to be, or we've got to start becoming like that, not 25, 30 minutes. But yeah, it was interesting. He said about Saliba. Yeah, I think we don't, or we're not seemingly missing a huge amount defensively.
No.
I would say, because I still think Holding is a decent defender.
Yeah, I've got no
Um,
problem with him defensively.
I look at the things where obviously when we're in possession and we look to play out, and Holding isn't that kind of Saliba where he'll pick up the ball and he'll dribble and he'll play and pass the ball through. He still plays the passes, but again, he's not as dynamic as what Saliba would be.
He's a little slower, isn't he?
Yeah, so his Holding would be say a little bit deeper. You found Gabriel being a little bit more of that kind of almost Saliba, where he's kind of popping forward a little bit more, playing passes or going out a bit more. But yeah, over at the end of it, it's one player that is out, but that then affects potentially three positions and three areas on that pitch, which again, like anywhere around the pitch, can affect your performances and certainly stability.
Yeah, I think you also add in Tomiyasu's absence
Yeah,
means Ben White can't move into that centre back role and have that right back cover. It's one of those things. We've had pretty good run with injuries, and we've not been badly hit, unfortunately. If you look at City, if they lost Diaz and Akanji, they'd struggle too, because there's not many teams in the world that can lose two 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 players in one area of a pitch to and still cope really well.
yeah, that definitely it will affect you. It's just one of those, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just always unfortunate when we do pick up injuries. We seem to pick up, say, similar injuries to certainly to in area, and yeah, if it's field, it's defence, isn't it? It's
yeah.
like last year it was just a
Yeah,
nightmare.
well,
Just
last year we didn't have a squad, and we lost Party, we
of
lost
course,
Tierney and Tomiyasu, and that
yeah,
decimated us. This year we were a little
yeah,
stronger, but you're going to miss Saliba, and you're going to miss not being able to put uh, Ben White into central defence instead of him, because he's still quite a capable defender. And Tomiyasu can do the right
yeah.
wing quite.
It's looking like Zinchenko is going to come back in the squad. He's obviously training this week, so again, we talk about lineups and we say about all right, there's at right back. Um, do you think there's going to be any changes?
Well, if there will be any changes, it will be Sinchenko back in if he's fit, because Sinchenko in the middle of the park gives you. We know he's not the best defender, but he gives you the control that you want. He will be able to play it around you, because Party's not in that position where he chips the ball over Declan Rice if Sinchenko's in. And I picked it out, I think, last time where when we did the Sunday show, Tierney went into the midfield, but it was sort of, I know I've got to be here, but I don't know exactly where I'm going and what I'm doing, because he would get there, ball wouldn't come, go over there, and he would drift down to the right, but further in field, and then he'd be at times he was trying to do what Sinchenko does, but he just doesn't quite yet have that experience and knowledge of how how to play that role like that.
Yeah,
He didn't do a bad job, but it's something that's alien to him, and he's trying to get to grips with it. And but if you're going to do if you're going to straight pick on Tierney and Zinchenko, if fit, is the one that goes in there for that reason, because he knows how to do it. He can he's got the confidence on the ball to be able to turn, get away from a player or around a player quite, quite easy. So teams can't actually just box us in and press us, because we've always got an out option.
yeah. No, it's
Other
gonna
than
be
that,
good.
I mean, you could say Jesus. Couldn't is it Jesus and Trossard is the only other thing? But to be honest, I'd keep it as it is. Uh, I mean, you could put Nelson on. You could put Nelson on for Saka, I suppose, but I don't like Nelson on the right hand side. I don't think he produces the goods on the right hand side. He's better on the left.
Yeah, he played that role against Juventus in that friendly, and he looked very sharp. And it was like, yeah, he bring the ball out and then suddenly cut in, and it's just like, oh dear, it looks really good. Um, Interesting with I mentioned about training, and there was obviously a few of the youngsters come in and actually had a good little training session. So it'll be interesting to see if, and I say we talk about the inability to move Ben White into say the centre, but I
That
believe,
did that did surprise me, you see, because we had Raw Waters on the bench, and he's
yeah,
more of a right back than centre back, and he didn't do too badly in pre-season. In a game like West Ham, it could have been an opportunity just to sort of late on in that game move White across, move Waters onto, and see how he copes.
yeah, you know
Because you're
those
putting
kind
him
of
on.
situations.
Yeah,
Though we can't be, or certainly Arteta. He's damned if he does, and damned if he doesn't, isn't he? At the end of the day, if he does
yeah.
something like that, everyone will be then, and it doesn't go right, and he has a nightmare. Look at Curior, and he comes on, and it was like within like about 10 seconds, and he got booked, didn't he, against Liverpool, and again they're just saying, well, why is he brought him on? And it's like, well, yeah, you're not exactly going to then bring on a youngster when it really matters as well, and you're suddenly thinking there's a bit too much on this, isn't there? And it's just one of those awkward ones, isn't it? It's just you don't, you'd like to see it, but then if you're a manager, can I trust myself in thinking that he's gonna uh, produce the goods? Because again, they are very young. Mikhail Roziak was in training, who
He's decent little
had
player.
had a really good game against Man City in the semi-final with the under-18s, and
He's been outstanding
I
pretty
think
much.
he's a right back, isn't he?
Yeah,
And for him to come in and be training as well, that is an interesting one to potentially suddenly see. If on a totally like random kind of thing, he comes in and just out of the blue, and you're suddenly thinking, all right, Ben White shifts in, then he's exciting. I'll tell you what, he's got an engine on him as well, and he's a quick lad. So
and he
yeah,
likes coming in. So he likes coming in. Likes coming in off that. He can overlap, and he cuts. He underlaps as well. So
no,
he's got that ability.
he scored two free kicks in a row for Arsenal. And it was like obviously that one in the semi final was really good. but yeah, just had a good old engine on him, and he was flinging over balls just like the other one, Sousa as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Lino Sousa.
Lena D'Souza. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. And
I think he was the one that we snatched from Barcelona academy, wasn't he? I believe, and then he seems to be progressing quite nice.
yeah, so look, there are players there. It's just again whether or not we're able to risk them, or if it's not even a risk. I mean, at the end of the day, if they're good enough, they'll play.
Yeah,
But at this time of season, you can't be seen to be trying to almost experiment and do stuff. But look, he may do it one time, and everyone's caught
yeah.
totally
The
away
thing
from it.
is if you're called up to a first team training and you impress and you get yourself on the bench, if you're being put on the pitch, you have to produce the goods because you don't get many chances uh, to impress, and it might be a 6 months to a year before he gets another chance. If he so it is a risk, but the players have to keep up the keep up the work and they're doing. Uh,
Yeah,
you can be as talented as you like, but if you don't put the work in, you're not going to get anywhere.
no, that's it. And yeah, oh look, like you say, get your head down and stay grounded, and then when that time comes, snap it up. I mean, you live for the moment, don't you? At the end of the day, and
Yeah,
you have to take your chances, like in all bits of life. You got to take it while it's there. No one's going to hand it to you. You've got to step up and take it. And look, what an exciting time to be a youngster. Bearing in mind how Arteta's kind of changed that kind of culture within the whole club. Everyone seems a bit more entwined together through the youth setup and into the first team. So I'm sure this pre-season I think is going to be really good just to see who comes in and who kind of has a real go in pre-season.
yeah,
So whatever happens this season, the club will be buzzing. Champions League again, yeah, it's done. We should be now enjoying it. We should be enjoying it now because this was the original. This is what we needed to get.
yeah. This was the
This is what
original
we needed to
target.
get. Anything else is now a bonus, and this is why I'm saying it's almost this fear. What everyone keeps saying about it, and this is the world versus Arsenal, where yeah we're choking, we're bottling it. We're the second youngest squad in the league playing against the juggernaut that is Man City.
There was also a thing there as well, Paul, wasn't there? Did you see it earlier today out on the media? Pep Guardiola, 14, 14 uh, years, 11 league wins, two seconds,
Yeah,
and the third. And Tottenham are the only team to have finished above Pep Guardiola and win nothing.
yes, never take the Tottenham out of Tottenham, can you?
Yeah, but that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah,
You think 14,
there's lots
you've
of
won 11
impressive
of
stuff
them and
about Tottenham.
come second twice and third once.
Oh dear. It's like the thing with Daniel Levy just coming out today. He went to the Cambridge University, didn't he? And it's just yeah. Someone asked him a question. What do you think of Tottenham? And he comes out and goes, "Oh yeah, they're the best team in the world." It's like okay, Daniel. Okay, keep going, keep doing what you're doing because it's absolutely rubbish. And yeah,
If you believe that,
yeah,
you don't need to improve.
yeah. So yeah, no, I really just don't care what they do now. I'm beyond that now. So yeah, it's yeah 7 points. That's
Well, we need, yeah, 3 points now, and Champions League, that is definitely guaranteed because no other team can get more than 76 points.
Yeah.
So that and that's the thing. I'm pretty sure it's done anyway, but the mathematical possibility is still there. So you've got to take away the mathematical possibility. But yeah, it, it's just relax, enjoy, and see where you go to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Just wanted to pull up the little lineup from like last week. So we're saying we're gonna take out Tierney again.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I just think Sinchenko gives you more versatility uh, and more control in the middle of the park than Tierney does.
Will he rest Partey? No.
I can't. I don't see why you rest Party. There's no reason to. Yes, it's Southampton, and Jorginho could do a job in there, but don't, why? Just
Well, yeah, you got to.
unless he's showing signs of injury or something, just stick him in, get the game sorted, and then you can pull him.
Yeah.
You're 3-0 up in the first half. Then you can pull him.
How many? How many in the first half?
Three,
Three. Oh,
three in
right. Glad
if you're three in the first
two,
half.
then we kind of know
Yeah.
we know how the story ends.
Yeah,
So,
no, you'd have to be 3-0 up at half time too.
yeah, I'd take 5-0, 5-0 at half time. We might be all
Yeah,
right.
that would be nice, wouldn't it?
But yeah, I'm hoping this man Saka has a nice game. I think he needs a game for confidence again now. Just something's gonna go right again, and the home crowd to really big him up and get the feel good factor again. Because I imagine he must have been killing. Well, I mean, just really just like thinking to himself. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he did come out and apologise after, which was big of him, but
shouldn't be needing to do it.
there's no need to apologise.
Nah.
He's done so much, even this season for the team, that you shouldn't be apologising. And did you see you put the that Twitter account that had him?
Yeah, there's numerous things, and yeah, I find it
I
deplorable.
I reported it.
Yeah, it was done. It was done early on.
Shamelessly.
It would only been up for about 4 hours or 4 or 5 hours. I got sight of it, reported it, and then yeah, within about an hour or so after that, obviously numerous reports. He got taken down, but he had numerous kind of ones that were kind of different handles. And look, it's something that these social media companies have got to get a grip on, because it's happening time and time again. Everyone hides behind a anonymous kind of a logo. No one wants to put a name to it. No one wants to put anything to it. Then they're big and bad behind a keyboard, and with an offensive picture. There's no need for it. There's absolutely no need. And until the police and these companies take it real serious, there's going to be no change with this. Because again, I wouldn't even say he's actually in.
I think it's the government, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Because to me, if you're posting that sort of thing online, it should become a criminal offence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Trouble is, these accounts are originating not in the UK, but they're elsewhere. I'm pretty certain that account wasn't originating in the UK.
it might not be. Plus you can bounce around.
And until there's actually some accountability in these accounts on Twitter and stuff, where it can be traced back. Yeah, it can still be traced, but it isn't as easy. There's not a clear path to kind of get look, you can register a number, but you can have a just any kind of mobile number that obviously gets linked to your account. So yeah, until they actually start getting a bit more personal and you've got to start actually proving who you are, then it isn't going to change.
Well, it should be. It should be. This is me. This is my driving license or my passport or whatever, uh, as your verification.
Yeah, if you can't do it,
Be quite
then
easy.
you ain't.
Quite easy to do.
Yeah, no, look, it's so easy to post a couple of abusive sentences to someone as a random. You wouldn't go and say it in his face. Yeah, might send me a message or whatever like that. You wouldn't come up and say straight directly in my face.
Yeah, there's not many people who,
Yeah, exactly. It's brilliant
not
hiding
those
behind
type of people anyway.
the keyboards and all sorts, but it's something that has to change, and it isn't just that. I know UK's been given a bit of a bad name with this kind of the racial stuff, and look, it isn't everyone. It is a minority still, but look, we're in a massively diverse country as well. So where you think it's a little bit up here, it's then also the other way, isn't it? I mean, we're such a diverse country. Certainly within like Birmingham and in London and other areas, it is very diverse. And look,
And what these people forget is that if they trace their history back, they either came from Africa or they came from Northern Europe. The, and that's the two areas that most of the heritage of Europe comes from is either Africa or Europe. It's not much difference there. So if they really looked into their history, they'd actually be quite surprised of what their DNA breakdown is.
yeah, no, it's sickening just to see that as well. And look, I've even seen some real bad comments from supposedly Arsenal fans, and this is where I talk about this kind of whole getting real. And yeah, I mean, there's lots of accounts out there, and there's lots of personalities that they do get a bit OTT, and I see these from America, I see it from Africa, I see it from England, and you look at it, there's some real over the top kind of reactions to everything like that, and everything's like it's almost sensationalized just because of what it is. And the fact is that look, we are in a position where we've not been. Look, if you could say, like I said, with regards to bad performances, if you look in your like your one hand, you can't fill up all your fingers.
No, Leeds, Everton, possibly Southampton away,
Yeah.
And West Ham away. I don't think Liverpool was a bad performance. I just think we started well, and then Liverpool.
That's it. And
Yeah, Liverpool just do what Liverpool can do at home.
But yeah, it's you've got to embrace the moment, and again, we've got to stick together as well. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. These kids and these young players,
They've got to
you need to be sticking with them.
Yeah.
Not at any time that something goes a little bit wrong. We know there's going to be ups and downs. We know there's going to be bumps in the road. So why can't we stay behind the lads? Be it if we lose a game, if we draw a game, we should win, or as everyone does when we win. But I'd rather the people that are the ones that are moaning all the time, and even when we're winning, there's always something about them to moan about. I'd rather them not celebrate. I'd rather just don't celebrate. If you're going to moan at any chance when things are good, when yeah, I mean or when it's real bad and we've lost a couple of games or whatever. Yeah, don't celebrate with us when potentially we go and pick up the trophy. Just have another moan. Just have a moan somewhere else. Go and sit in the corner and ask yourself what you're doing. Support.
I'll be back one quick sec. Right. Yes, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Arsenal fans, it's just about supporting your team. So let us know in the chat, Gooners, what your thoughts are, any questions, and again, what your starting lineups. Who's going to come in, and yeah, obviously, hopefully, get us 3 points. So yeah, it is a big one. It's a big, massive game. But also, please give us a follow on Twitter, ITMB_AFC. And yeah, please click the subscribe button and the bell on YouTube. Would really help us. So yeah, it is big. And look, a Friday night game. And I think the atmosphere is going to be buzzing. So yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I get what you're saying. I had one on Football Terrace. I put a comment up and another supposed Arsenal fan was on there, and he replied to my comment, excuses, and I said I broke that down. I said there's no excuses in my what I'm saying. I said you're supposed to be a supporter of a club, grow a pair, and don't be a sandman and crumble when results don't go the way you'd like them to go. You're not going to win every game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, and to expect anything else is unrealistic. This isn't. We aren't a team that's won this 4-5 on the trot. We have no real idea of what to do apart from 6 players, and that's 5 players. That's Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Jesus and Zinchenko are the only players who have won any type of league title. And Xhaka was in Switzerland, Partey was in Spain, and Tierney was in Scotland. So we've only got 2 players who know what winning the English Premier League's like. So they're not going to know how to deal with these moments and how to every situation.
Yeah, this is what I've said in it. At the end of the day, the consistency when they are this young and well, not so much raw. They're not babies. They're not young ones. But look, they haven't got the experience of what, say, like a team like City are. And yeah, those players. Look, 25, 26, 27, 28.
If it's been our second or third year in this position, then you can say, yeah, and you'd have confidence and then be actually getting over the line this time. It's the first time for everyone in there.
Yeah. There will be inconsistencies. This is where I get as well with the youngsters. They're not going to be polished every single week. And again, this probably comes down to the whole kind of only playing for half hour as well, because there are the inconsistencies in form, well, not so much form, but again, game management, just little things like that where you don't really know. Yeah, there's a couple of players in there that are a little bit older to help them along, but again, in key areas, in big areas, we are a little bit devout of experience on that side, and as a group, it is going to take time to kind of get that experience, to understand how we close out games, how to manage the play of the game, and in the end of the day, and that's it. Force ourselves on there for 70, 80 minutes, like I've said, and it'll be a much better watch, wouldn't it? Because no one wants to see those kind of games where you see us like just playing the football we played the last couple of games, and then go to how we ended up those games, and it was like it's totally like chalk and cheese. So yeah, food for thought for Arteta and for the players. And this is why I say I think this game being at home on a Friday night, it's going to be a big atmosphere there, and I think that will really spur the players on to do something decent. And I think that'll be a good morale boosting result. That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what you'd hope. I mean, uh, historically, I actually sort of thought we had a worse record than we did at home against Southampton. Away, our record at Southampton is terrible,
Yeah,
but at home, it's pretty decent. 16 wins and 6 draws, but those draws are quite recent in the memory. Uh, you're, you're looking at the under Hussentel a couple of seasons ago, and they come and got a draw. Uh, when we were doing quite well, and they were looking like relegation. He got the win there, and then he went and got 5 or 6 more wins on the trot and kept them up. Uh, so there's always that sort of thing in your back of the mind that they might just come. But stat wise, we score 2.8 goals a game at home, and we concede 1.2. But Southampton are poor away from home. They've scored 9 goals all season away from home, which are equivalent to 0.6 goals a game, and they've conceded 23 away from home, which equates to 1.5 goals a game. So, I mean, we'll probably get into predictions on them, but for me, they've got quite a lot of youngsters, and it will be the likes of Ward-Prowse, Armstrong, and probably Walcott over players you'd look as the big threats. Labia is a decent young player. He came from Man City Academy, and they've got a couple other, but it's and that's is it was the Star, I think it is, who's their attacker who's come in. He looks maybe if he could be a threat if they can get playing, but it's then they're just not good travellers. They're one of the worst travellers out there.
yeah. No, I look at you mentioning Walcott as well, and it's one of those where he was well maligned, wasn't he? He did have a good support at Arsenal, but then I think time and patience kind of got the better of him, didn't they? And it was one of those where he never worked out or found out where he was best playing, I suppose.
Yeah, he found in his own mind he found in his own mind that striker role was where he wanted to be, and I don't think Wenger really felt that he had the capability of playing there full time.
Yeah,
He did it for the odd game, or for the odd 45 minutes or something, but he never give him a big run of games in that position.
yeah. No, well, we know how his predictions come around, don't we? Because remember him saying that before Man City that hopefully we do a hopefully we do him a favour, and it's like, yeah, they shouldn't have bothered. That was quite cringy, actually, saying that. It's really cringy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just you just don't do it. It's like poking a bear through the old the fence, isn't it? You can't do that, say things like that.
You don't want to line City up,
No, so
which is the other thing. You've got to look. Their form have picked up since the allegations have come out, and he settled on a set formation and a set sort of way of playing. But until up to that point, those allegations came out. They were almost just bobbing along, weren't they?
yeah,
And they've had their chain rattled, and they've reacted.
yeah. So yeah, as it's Southampton at home. Um, yeah, a lovely little piece on the Arsenal site. Five best Arsenal Southampton games. Um, we're going back. We're going back. 1992, May the 2nd. Arsenal 5, Southampton 1. And yeah, it was a final game before the North Bank got demolished.
Yes,
And yeah, brilliant.
there was. I mean, there was. I think there's like a 6 or 7 one as well. We've had against them.
Yeah.
I'll, yeah, I'll try and find the year. No,
1995, Dennis Bergkamp's first goals for Arsenal, 4-2 against Southampton.
yeah,
I was there. I was a junior gunner back then. So yeah, so that was that was good. I remember being. I think I was front row. I think I was on Match of the Day that game. And yeah, when they celebrated and jumped up, well, there's me as a youngster just kind of jumping around. So yeah, so that was all good. The next one, 6-1.
yeah. That was the one I was 7th of May 2003. It was the Invincible season,
It
wasn't
was
it?
the start
Of the
of the
Invincible.
49 game unbeaten streak.
Yeah,
And yeah, Jermaine Pennant.
and we followed that up in the FA Cup, didn't we? With a 1-0 in the FA Cup, just a few weeks later.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Actually, 10 days later, it was the 17th of May.
yeah. So that's yeah. So that was the 7th of May 2002, and then 6-1 again, Southampton in
Yeah,
2012.
yeah. So, and that's where that's the sort of score you're hoping for.
Yeah, but take that one. Yeah, but yeah, 10 years after that last one, we then done it. Lucas Podolski, and then Javinho.
Much maligned again, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then the final one, 3-2, 3-2 Arsenal in 2018. Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck scored.
Yeah,
Aubameyang. Oh, I remember this one as well. That's it. Yeah, El Neni got a red card as well in the last few minutes,
yeah.
and
And since then, it's been very most. The biggest one was 3-0 in 21, December 21.
yeah,
And but again, it's one of those that was still behind closed doors, wasn't it? It was, yeah, and so it wasn't such a surprise, but it's not most of them have been close, sort of 2-1s or 3-2s or there've been a couple of 2-0s in there, but it's not. And a couple of one, you've had a 1-1 and two 1-1s, and the 2-2. It was a 2-2 in 2019 with Ralph Hassan to which I alluded to earlier. That was the one that stuck because I think they went up a goal early, and we came back, went ahead, and they got one back in the dying minutes.
yeah. So, all right. Well, I think we've gone through most of it now. I think it's time for predictions now.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, the fact that we score roughly 3 goals a game, and we only concede one, and can Southampton barely score one a game, I'm going for a 3-0. A clean sheet at home. We've only had 3, so be a nice time just to pick up a clean sheet. And
We're gonna do a prediction league next season, yeah.
yeah, I think so.
We'll start from and then we'll have a little league table somewhere. I'll
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I have to try and think of a way I can fix it. So
Do it in something like is it the Excel spreadsheet or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, I'll get something sorted. But yeah, it should be good. But yeah, I think 4-1. I'm going to go 4-1.
Yeah,
So
that's reasonable. Yeah, the
yeah,
more goals, the better, to be honest. So,
yeah, no, definitely. Right. Well, Richard, thanks for coming on tonight. Yeah,
no
really
pleasure as
good.
always, mate.
And yeah, let's hope that we get a real good performance
Yeah, well, I'll be
um,
watching. So,
and 3 points. So I'm the Bray. You've been watching in the North Bank. Richard, thank you very much. Um, the Matchday preview show is over once again. If you've not seen it, put it on catch up. Go and watch it. And yeah, come and get involved next time. So come on, you Gunners.